And a very good evening to you and welcome to the One Day Special. You are looking at Morris & Co. 20 sensational fat quarters in a bundle, and we've got it on 2 flexi buy payments of £35. You've got all the favourites there. You've got the strawberry fields, you've got the thistle, I've got Mary to tell me all the others.
You've got Mary?
Mary, sorry Jenny. I don't even know what time of evening it is.
If you watch the last hour with trampolining, we're going to do trampolining sewing, you see. Not going to be beaten by anyone from Happy Puzzle. This is sewing to die for. This is William Morris. This is exquisite. This is the Granada range. All your classics all together, you see. And you will be able to wrap yourself in them whilst you play those games that you could have bought in the previous show, but you're not going to because you're going to buy the fabrics on this show.
Yes, you are. And you're not going to buy with Mary, go buy with Jenny. Honestly, I said to her, I'm worse as the night goes on, Jenny. I said, I've just been drinking tea. Just gets worse. Anyway, we have got a sensational One Day Special for you. There's no doubt about it. And we've kind of popped them into sort of colourways. Is that right, Jenny?
You have, yes, because you've got 20 there, and the 20 are not. Now, don't panic, viewers. You're not supposed to have them all going together. No. What you've got is groups of colours.
Yes.
So if we can briefly come to the piece of work, what is hanging behind me, says Mary in her bestest English. This came from the 20 fat quarter section where I picked out the turquoises.
Yeah.
And they go together. I could have done it with the reds or I could have done it with the blues. And I think what's wonderful about these 20 fat quarters is that you've got colour combinations you can put together. So you're not thinking, oh, they'll only go together like this. No, you've got bits you could use for cushions, you could use for quilts. You have a whole wealth of different colours that will work together. So that's your turquoises. But you have a look and Fiona will show you. No, is her name Fiona?
Just call me Frank.
I'll call her Frank. Okay, Frank's going to show you.
Now, Molly's right. We've got all these different colours here. But I think as we look along, you'll probably match up with us because I can see that beautiful teal going with these. But we've tried to just group it but as Jenny said, you know, visually, it's really what colourway you want to go in. So let's just go through the different designs because they do have all their beautiful names. So per fat quarter, if I show you this is an American fat quarter, isn't it? So very briefly, could you just remind us of that then, Jenny?
American fat quarter is half a half yard. So it's 18 down the selvage and it's 22 across the width.
So slightly, does that make it slightly?
It's slightly smaller than a UK or European fat quarter,
not
but marginally. It's still the same width. It's just marginally shorter on the depth.
Beautiful. So let's take you through those gorgeous, gorgeous names and colours. You're getting all 20 of these. I can see people have found the pick and mix, which we'll come to in a moment. So let's start with these beautiful teals. So here, I learnt the name of this one, and now I've forgotten it. It was only yesterday. It was with the stencil lady, Lorraine. What's this one?
It's not the oak leaf. Oak apple? No.
Someone's going to tell me in a moment.
Well, as you couldn't remember my name, I'm not surprised.
Oh, sorry, I thought you had the names there.
No,
lovely.
No, Fred. Ethel.
No, not you, Jenny. I meant my lovely producer. So we've got no names. I'm just going to make it up.
Teal. Call it teal.
Beautiful teal. It's okay. I thought we had names. Forgive me. It's not important. I'm just going to show you them because they are stunning.
And that's got a lovely little repeat on it. Now that one, the one in your hand now, is glorious. There is a little bit of white and a tiny bit of gold and the various shades of turquoisey and greens that run through it.
Beautiful. And this is gorgeous. This is, again, another one that I can't remember the name of, but this...
that's a cushion cover.
Yes.
That really is one cushion cover. And I've done it up here. It's on the one that's at the top there.
In the different colourway there. Beautiful
different colourway. But look at the amazing sort of lusciousness, richness, extravagantness of the design. This is William Morris at his best. He was a multi-talented chap. And he was a designer, he was a writer, he was a poet, he was an activist, he was all sorts of things. And with his designs, I think you're going to go for the classic feel. It's ageless. These have been around for a long, long time. And unlike some of today's modern fabrics, which you'll tire of, and people will go, oh, that was so 2021. This is just timeless and classic.
Yeah. It's bespoke elegance, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. So we'll continue down the vein. Here again, that's the mixer that we've got, almost like you said about the blue, isn't it?
Yes,
we've got that
in the little brownie colour.
Yes. And then again, beautiful and bold. There's our red, the pattern we were just looking at a moment ago, or something similar in terms of those flourish of the leaves. That's gorgeous, isn't it?
Really
we know
rich.
this one's called Strawberry Fields.
That is such a sweetie. It really
Isn't it
is.
cute
You've got the little birds in there. You've got all the flowers. I mean, that is just
Stunning.
beautiful. It just
Little
talks.
crystal motif.
Yes.
Beautiful.
One's almost speechless in how did he think it up? How did he put all so many things together and just create such a wonderful collage of pretty designs?
Yeah, absolutely. So clever. And again, very gentle, very easy, lovely sort of fresh cotton colours there.
So nice to work with that.
So beautiful. And then having said that, equally as beautiful, these three actually go gorgeously together. Again, you've got those big flourishes there.
Well, that's your lounge, your sitting room one, whereas the one before that's sort of the kitcheny, although we've got a really good kitcheny one coming up. Just
these three look so good together, don't they, as well?
The gold, imagine that on your sofa. A lovely, wonderful, luxurious gold cushion. Give it gold piping and tassels.
Oh, I love that. And I love this detail there that's brought out. And then the lovely...
Now, this is one of the seaweed designs,
yes, one of the seaweed ones.
It's in the red. Now, this is great because it's a sort of quieter design and will mix and match with so many of the others to give yourself that sort of delicate rest in between and yet bring out
something
the
bolder
richness of the other fabrics and things. That's great together,
isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And then we go to our blue version of the Strawberry Fields there, and that is beautiful, isn't it? So pretty. They're just all gorgeous. Everyone's a doozy. Everyone's a winner. I mean, this is one of my favourites. I think that's absolutely
glorious,
exquisite.
Again, that's the one that I used in the Trip Round the World quilt that's hanging behind me, the teal version of that. And those little birds that are in it,
aren't they adorable?
Yes.
That goes with those first three on the counter. And then we've got the blue seaweed that you've got in your runner there.
Yep.
Beautiful. And then again, something that you can mix in with the gold. See, there's so many different ways we can work with these,
yes,
isn't there?
it is. And I think that perhaps we should have laid them more in their colour combinations.
Maybe so.
You, the viewer, can see the potential here because there's so many different ways of actually mixing and matching. You put those two girls together and that is, again, that's
heaven,
classic perfection.
I mean, those are lovely. Oh, those two together are just beautiful as well. And then I think this is just so cute.
And that goes again with your red spot. It also goes with the red Strawberry Fields.
Yeah, it does. So many different machinations, aren't there? I love the ones we're coming to now. I mean, this is just this one that I can't remember that we got at the beginning in the teal.
Yes, we've got that in the blue there as well.
Haven't we just? That is just beautiful. Well, I think it begins with L.
Well,
I could be wrong.
Somebody will email in and tell us what it is. Now that's a lovely fabric
corker,
because that
isn't it?
goes again with your teals. It goes again with the brown one with a little print on it. It tones in with the golds. So once more, you've got a bundle of fabrics that you can use your own choice to mix and match and come up with several different projects that are completely different colour-wise, and yet the colours will blend together and give you that classic look.
I believe that's called the Aqua Snakehead. Beautiful again, absolutely stunning.
Another lovely, great big romping design. It just sort of rolls over the fabric.
Honeysuckle and tulip, that one. We should recognise it from our tulips. There we go. And then last but not least, the first one held up, which is really quite beautiful and goes with all those lovely golds you pointed out.
Yes, it
Jennie.
does. Very, very nice fabrics. So you get all 20. So you've got mix and match, lots and lots and lots of different projects.
Yeah, London Dust. I know they all are different. Anyway, we'll get there. We'll have a name by the end of tomorrow. 391277. 2 flexi-buy payments of £35. There is a £10 saving. Dispatch is the 26th of November. And I should point out, once they're gone, they're gone. Okay, so that is across the board here for all the different fat quarter machinations I've got and for my half meters pick and mix. Already 10% of the one day special has gone. Let's have a look on the web where we can catch up in advance, and you will have the names on there as well on the website so that you will be able to name each of those fantastic fabrics by name. We have a 9-piece fat quarter as well. Some of these you will recognise from our other fat quarter set. Some are very different. You won't have them in there at all. So the same with the half meters. It's kind of, you might recognise some crossover, but some you won't at all, like that lovely lemon tree there.
Oh, well, that's the one that
green.
Kim loves.
Yes.
Because she's got that in her kitchen and she really wants to have that. So yeah, there are some that I've seen before and some that I certainly haven't seen. So if you've actually bought previous ones from William Morris, you might be topping up your collection or indeed increasing it and enhancing it. So you've got a wonderful selection of glorious classic designs to choose from.
Fabulous. And we have Jennie's books on there as well. Okay, let's show you those half-metre pick and mixes which you've already found. Like I said, some you will recognise from our fat quarters. They're not identical. Some are going to be some new ones in there as well. So it's really for you to find what is your favourite. So these are in the half metres. I'm just going to undo the first one just so we get a sense of the size. I know you know what a half metre is, but still, it's nice to know, isn't it? So we'll start with our strawberry fields, which you've already found, which has proven one of the most popular there as well. So you're getting 2 half metres, and you couldn't quite believe the price, could you, Jennie?
No, I think 2 half metres for £13.99 is extremely good value.
It is phenomenal, isn't it? That is beautiful. What would you do with your half metres?
Well, just 1 half metre is a cushion.
Yeah.
So that's very easy. 1 half metre is a table runner, very simply. You can get probably a small child's dress out of it.
Wow.
You could certainly, if you had 2 half metres, be thinking about a skirt of some sort. So you can think about clothing. There's no reason why, if you happen to have a small room, you couldn't use the half metres and hang them long ways for curtains if you so desired. They could be used as borders. You can, of course, use them for quilting, which, of course, I would use them for.
Yeah.
So you could use them for your embroidery. I mean, wherever you want to use fabric, Fiona,
yes,
you could use it. So if you want something elegant and classic, hey,
it's a win-win. Timeless, like you said.
Totally.
And also, I should point out as well, if you're looking for 2 of the same, they do get cut as the half metres. I want to point that out. And some are already going fast. So 60% of the strawberry fields has already gone. So, for instance, if you're looking, strawberry thief. I keep calling it strawberry fields, sorry. Strawberry thief. 60% of that has gone. So in that case, just bear that in mind if you're looking for 2 half metres of the same, but it will be cut in a half metre. So, honeycomb in the red, beautiful. Oh, that's a pretty colour, isn't it? We haven't seen that colour. It's like a very soft aubergine, isn't it?
Yes, it's a really nice one, that one.
That is
again,
beautiful.
it tones in with so many of the other ones.
That is called poppy lavender. My favourite, oh, that poppy lavender, I should say as well, we're very busy on this one. This, we are approaching 60%.
I'm not surprised. It's a glorious fabric.
Isn't it lovely? That is gorgeous, isn't it?
And that's going to go with the modern greys. Many people have greys and things in their homes. That's going to subtly complement the grey fabrics.
That would work really well with grey, actually. That is beautiful. This I did notice we do have, I think, in a different colourway, a lighter colourway. This is the London Dusk. I love that. So many different colourways in there, aren't there? There's the lovely pretty pinky purples.
Yes, and you've got the gold in there.
Yeah.
And I just love blue and gold together. I mean, they so complement each other.
Such a lovely luxury, isn't it? London Dusk.
You can just look at it and feel it and just look at the design. You've got nothing better to do. Just sit and look at all the patterns that are in it.
Maybe the material will dictate, you know, and inspire you in which direction to go. Because that can happen as well, can't it? Rather than, I've got a project and I want to do this.
Yes, and
you can just...
Yes, but again, oh, I have to do that with it.
Yeah, it just dictates to you. Then, ooh, very dynamic and bold. Snakehead Sage, because of those lovely sages in there as well. Again, a really dynamic print, that one. Beautiful. So again, we had this but in a different colour in our fat quarters. So these are all half metres, pick any 2. And again, beautiful, simply beautiful. Poppy navy.
And that is almost a blender, and yet it's not, because when you look into the fabric, there is that delicate tracery of those wonderful, wonderful patterns.
Beautiful, isn't it? Moving across, again, very country cottage, very elegant. Jasmine blush, and again, those very delicate rose pinks.
Yes, such a pretty fabric, that. And that's a bedroom fabric. You could use it for making pretty things for the bedroom. It's a little girl's dress.
Yes.
It's the boudoir. It's the pretty part of your life.
You see, that's where I think the material itself is dictating the project there. I should point out as well, as I'm making my way through them, because we want to give you some time to soak them up. We are obviously going to look at Jennie's lovely demonstrations, but it's important to see the materials. Some of them are already getting limited down to single figures.
Right.
So if you're interested in your pick and mix, I cannot but urge you to, well, be quick. Now you've made a beautiful cushion
Yes,
out of this.
I made.
Is that right, Jenny?
There's a cushion over here.
Yes.
This is one of the Granada fabrics.
Oh wow, so
I
luxurious.
love that. That just needs to be used as a piece. So there is the cushion made with the Granada fabric.
Were you right to bring that to the camera for me? Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. 40% of the Granada charcoal is gone.
When you look at it, look at it more closely. There was a blue that Fiona's just shown you. That would also work remarkably well with it,
yeah.
as indeed would the pinks and things. And there is a pink that just happens to be lying there. You've got the greens in it, and there's a wonderful green in fact, the half meters, or in one of the sets we're going to be showing you, that really blends in with that. And I put the little blue as a piping round the edge.
Oh yes, I like that, Jenny. That lovely blue piping. Just sets it off, just frames it beautifully.
Just picks it out. And you know, it's there. That will go on your sofa of any colour. If you've got a dark sofa, or maybe you've got a blue sofa. I have a blue one at home, and it really does. The blue picks out this, and yet it's there as a statement. Beautiful design. Absolutely
beautiful. Half the stock gone for that Granada charcoal there that you saw Jenny using on her cushion. Moving on. The snake's head, again, I'm starting to recognise it in the aqua. Absolutely beautiful. And then this is Brer Rabbit. This is totally different, isn't it? A total departure.
Super one, that one.
Isn't that super?
And again, I've used that over here in this particular panel. So I chopped it up. And it's one of the nice things about William Morris is it doesn't matter if you chop it up.
No.
So you can see it's there, and if you look at it, you can see they're odd bits of the rabbits, they're odd bits of the birds, they're just there. And it doesn't matter if you cut it up. So if you are thinking, oh, it's patchwork, I'm going to cut it up, no, it won't matter.
It's very forgiving in that respect, isn't it? 3/4 of the stock of Brer Rabbit have gone. I love the way we've got the birds in there as well. The design is just beautiful. I hadn't seen that till I picked it up. Absolutely stunning. Oh, again, very fresh. Beautiful. My sort of thoughts went towards the lemon tree. This is called Wilhelmina linen. Isn't that pretty, Jenny?
I think Wilhelmina had some very nice linen.
Didn't she just? Yes. Look at those, again, the fabulous colours to work with.
Really, really nice.
Absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, let's say, look at this.
Now that, strangely, is one of my favourites. It's that soft sagey green.
Yes.
There's a hint of gold in there. And I just like that. It's quiet, it's peaceful, it's restful. Just a nice fabric. Goes with so many different things.
This bramble charcoal, thank you. Forgive me, I was pondering then because I thought my producer said womble charcoal. I thought bramble charcoal, half the stock. So lots of people agree with you there, Jenny, half the stock has gone. Poppy in the cream. So again, it's a bit like that denim blue one, isn't it?
Great blender.
Yeah.
So we're calling it a blender, which is not disparaging it in any way, shape or form, because when you look at the colours in that, and if you just want a plain cushion, that would work very well. But if you want something to complement the others, that's a great one to mix and match.
Yeah, beautiful. Very busy on the pick and mix, Jenny. Very busy on the pick and mix. And actually, those three are a lovely. Those three are a lovely little bit of heaven. Them three, aren't they? Do you think,
yes,
Jenny?
They would go together
very,
very well.
Just happens to be there. This is called the pure trellis linen. You see, the only problem I have is which to go for.
Well, quite. You see, mind you could have one of each.
I could.
Yes.
You could have a couple of picks and mixes, couldn't you?
You could do. Yes. You could be rash and have more. At $13.99
extravaganza
for a metre. Or
yeah.
Sorry, yes,
and I could split it over November and December.
Yep.
Ooh, do it. While stocks last, because once it's gone, it's gone. Now,
and one more thing we haven't talked about. Once it's gone, it's gone. And William Morris ain't going to be designing many more.
No. Bless his heart. No. This is our marigold. So this is the one I couldn't remember. And this is what Lorraine brought yesterday in her stencils, the marigold stencil.
Right.
That is beautiful. So we've seen this in different colourways in the Fat Quarter bundle. So that is the marigold there. Oh, my word. Just when you think it can't get any better. Oh.
Isn't that lovely?
Golden lily in the dust.
That summer, which I know has waned slightly, but hey, it's coming on, and think for next year. Get that out in spring. How about table mats in that to cheer up the table?
Just going to wrap myself in it, Jenny, to be honest. We're limited now. We're limited on this one. You've already found it. They all agree with us. Absolutely love that one. Oh, now this is our seaweed dots. Now you've used this as almost like
Yes.
your blender, you said, didn't you, in your
Yes,
lovely table runner.
Very nice, useful fabric, that one. Just one of those fabrics you're going to want to, that'll work well with anything. Anybody's designs, that's going to go with.
It's a cracker, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a cracker. Now, oh my goodness, I just turn it and reveal. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love. Look at this. Oh, I'm going in. I'm going in, Jenny. I don't care.
I mean, that's not fair because Ben spent ages doing that.
I don't care. Look, in. I don't think it's going to be here long enough, Jenny, so I think it's going to have to come down anyway. So he won't be really mad with me. He loves me really. It's not going to be around here long enough. Limited. See, we're limited on it. It's going to be gone. It's going to have to come down. It's still here at the moment. What do you think of this then, Jenny?
I think that's absolutely superb. Can we get really close in at one of the designs? Just look. Look at the intricacy of those designs. Just look.
I mean, his imagination was phenomenal, wasn't it? What a gifted.
Superb. The dog, the peacock.
I know.
The colours that are just going across it. It could be your feature fabric. Although I think actually I would just leave it as a piece. That's got to be a cushion. Just have it as a cushion. Have it as a table runner.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
How do you mean it's
Technical
gone?
sellout.
Technical sellout?
Technical sellout. I'm sorry you can't have it, Jenny.
Oh, I wanted it.
I do apologise. I should mention as well, on the end, they've got the little code on the end, haven't they, as well, for
all for colour matching.
All for the colour matching.
Yes, so if ever you look at fabric, you've got the dots along the top there. The great thing about that is that colour is what's been used in the fabric. So you take the little dots and then you can go and match it to other materials. Really useful if you're fussed about matching colours.
Yeah.
Works a treat.
That one's gone. So I was okay. You won't tell me off, Jenny. You won't tell me off.
Yeah, but I can throw all the toys out the pram now.
Look at that. It's like the Royal Ballet, that. Right, where do we get to?
Ooh, almost the Royal Ballet.
Sugar plum fairy, more like. Pure sunflower.
Another lovely, quiet, elegant fabric.
I really like that as well.
You can almost feel the damask of the sort of the Victorian turn of the century when they had it in damask on the sofas and things and on the chairs. It's going to give that graciousness.
It is so graceful, isn't it? Yeah. Fresh. Oh, lovely. Oh. Well, we're having problems pronouncing this one, so I'm just going to go with what my producer's saying. Theodisia. If I say it fast.
Yes.
Not sure what Theodisia is.
Neither am I, but
Lovely.
it sounds wonderful.
Is it a posh name for blue, is it? I don't know.
I think it's a posh
Theodisia
name
blue.
for some lovely entwined, they're almost like sort of, not oak apples, but it's, I'm trying to think, this almost takes me back to Tudor times.
Yes.
With some of the designs in that. You can almost feel like the Tudors tripping around the court. Queen Mary,
like
Mary,
stump work
Elizabeth I, with her wonderful robes and embroidered and padded things like that. Yep.
Now, limited on the next one. Right, I'm going in, everybody. It's limited, it's very limited. I think once I hold it up. Single figures, next few people to come in for this. I will leave it draped if we have any left, but at the moment it's limited.
Strawberry what?
Oh, sorry about my tape there.
Yes, it doesn't come with tape, folks.
Blackthorn.
If you get a piece of tape, you've got added extra and be really glad with it about it.
Oh, that is exciting, isn't it? Jewel rich, that one.
Yes. What's its name? Strawberry?
This is called Blackthorn Indigo.
Blackthorn. That's right, Blackthorn Indigo.
Next few folks to come in for that. Please don't miss out. We are extremely limited on that one. Blackthorn Indigo. I will leave it up, obviously, because there's a couple still left there, but technically sell out. Are you ready for the sugar plum?
Yes. I don't think the Royal Ballet is going to be your next employer.
Do you not?
No.
None taken, Jenny, none taken. Okay. This one's called Pure Bachelors. Oh, interesting name.
And again, it's a lovely fabric that's going to go with our modern minimalistic colour schemes and that hint of grey we all like these days.
Lovely. Oh, again, some great little mixes here, but they've all got their own fantastic dynamic design. Look at our beautiful, this is quite Christmassy, even though it's acorns. Look at the lovely acorns and the acorn leaves in there. It's so full, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? I mean, that's going to go with the silvers and the greys and the colours that we have these days. And it's going to be timeless. because there's nothing in it. It will also blend with so many different colours. Imagine putting that with a mustardy colour or even a blue or your red. You could mix and match that with any of the other colours that you happen to fancy.
That's a corker to mix with. Then moving on. Oh, sort of a grassy one, leafy. Willow linen. Again, another beautiful one to complement and not overshadow, but still a really lovely dynamic design. Really pretty. That is our willow linen, which goes beautifully with the next one. Ooh, honeysuckle and tulips. You see, we're starting to recognise them now, aren't we? She says. That is beautiful as well. Again, I just love blues.
Another big, bold design. So I think what's lovely about this collection is you've got the little prints, you've got the ones that are just the soft blend of colours, and then you've got the big, bold, powerful designs.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. There's that lovely gold you love, Jenny.
Yes.
Isn't that fabulous? See, that goes with that beautiful one we just saw. That is gorgeous, isn't it? That's our marigold in the tan. More gold, tan makes me think of American tan tights. But it's called that anyway, marigold tan. I'm going to rename it marigold gold.
I think marigold gold's much better.
Yes. Thank you, Jenny. And then this one is in the teal. Again, a lovely one to mix with as well. Has this got a name, this one? That's okay. This gives us more time to absorb.
To eulogise. Again, a very useful print. Because you could go cut straight across if you wanted to use it as a binding or as a border fabric. These lines, I think they're about 1.5 inches apart, I seem to recollect, but it was a very useful one for just cutting straight and using as a border, as a feature around something, a frame.
Rosehip indigo for that one. And then my jasmine, oh, this is exquisite. That is the jasmine in the aqua. I think we liked this in the linen one as well.
Yes.
With those lovely soft pinks. Yes, this is the jasmine aqua. That is lovely. I do love those teals and aquas. Pick any two for $13.99. Some are very limited. I think we've had some sellouts as I've been lovingly, balletically even, going down the wall. But I'm going to leave that for somebody else to deal with. Let's look at some images on the web. Wilhelmina linen. Oh, you beauty. Wilhelmina linen's gone. Gone. It's gone. I'm going to do that with it. Golden what? Golden lily dusk. That one's gone as well. That's that one, my favourite. Another one. That one's gone. That one's gone. Any others gone? Or no, don't come back to me yet. Ben's doing a pirouette with me. There we go. Just trying to remove the bits of material there because we don't want to show you what we haven't got any more of. So there we go. They're both sold out now. Once they're gone, they are gone. Oh, I'm not liking the untidiness now,
no,
Jenny.
No, it isn't. That's horrid.
Oh.
You'll have to spend ages tidying while I do a demo.
Let's just go to you, Jenny. I'll tidy. You do.
Her ballet skills are not the best of it, but our trampoline ones are excellent. Right, behind me, I also have been thoroughly enjoying using these fabrics. So here we have your collection of teals together. Now this came from the 20 fat quarter section where I've used the teals, and this is the classic design called Trip Round the World. I actually only used 5 fat quarters for the centre and 1 more fat quarter round the edge, and there is just about enough fabric left to do a binding. It will have to be a multicoloured binding, but I was able to do that from 6 fat quarters in total. For those who wish to know, the strips were cut here at 3.5 inches. The border was cut at 3. And the reason for the interruptions here with these pieces was that's how I managed to make 1 fat quarter do the entire border. So you see what you can do with 6 fat quarters. Moving on to the other pieces, we have a bundle of 9 fat quarters in a red option, and that's what I used to make this little quilt. And again, I used 3 fat quarters in the middle, 1 further one went round the edge. Coming back to over here, we've got from the blue collection of fat quarters. Again, I have used these to make a couple of cushions and a small throw table runner, call it what you will. Again, just working with the fat quarters. Obviously, if you buy half meters, you're going to be able to make twice as much. And it's this particular one I was going to start off with demonstrating. I've got the seaweed here and the one with the, don't ask me to remember the things at all, and this is the strawberry somethings around the edge. Oh, it isn't, it's to do with brambles, blackcurrants or something of that nature. I've forgotten now. Don't ask. It's hard enough remembering the designs for patchwork, let alone remembering the names of fabric. So how do we do this particular design?
Blackthorn indigo, I beg your pardon.
Thank you. Blackthorn indigo round
and Brer Rabbit, which
which
I think
plus
sold
seaweed. So how did you make the design? Well, the design is not my own idea. It came from a lady called Karen Hellaby, who has a book, Rit, which we've had on before, and her book is called So Simple Pineapples. And in this book has all the designs that I'm about to show you. I'm not using the sizes that were in the book. I have subtly changed it simply because I wanted to maximize my fat quarters. To do the particular design, you're going to need squares and just 2 colors I'm working with. You can do as many colors as you like. I happen to have cut 6.5-inch squares, 6-inch squares, because we're working with American fat quarters, and 18 is the depth of the fabric and 6 goes into 18, which is fantastic. So I've cut 6-inch squares in the darker pink and 6-inch squares in this one, and these 2 fabrics come from the 9, we have yet to come to that, the bundle of 9 fat quarters, which is why you haven't seen that one, or indeed this one. Put your 2 squares together, right sides together, and we're going to draw a line corner to corner, and the best thing to do is draw it on the back of the lightest fabric, then you can see it. So I'm going to draw a line corner to corner. Either side of the drawn line I'm going to stitch using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I've set my machine to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance by moving the needle off center towards the right hand side, and on this particular machine and on many others, if you move your needle with the stitch width to 5.5, that will set the needle at a 1/4 inch from the right hand edge of the regular presser foot. Many students who have witnessed my teaching and been harangued in my classes will be aware that I like to use the regular presser foot when I'm doing my stitching and shift the needle, simply because it sits more firmly on the feed dogs, pushes the fabric through, and has a nice wide slot for when I forget to move the needle, or I move the needle over and I won't break it. So I've sewn either side of the diagonal line, and you'll need to do this several times, 4 times in fact. When you've done that, it's very simple. You cut up the drawn line. Now you can cut with scissors, you can wobble with a rotary cutter. If it's not desperately accurate, it doesn't matter. Having done that, I would then take the 2 squares and press the back seam open and flat. I'm a fan of doing that because I think it gives you a better effect in the end. So press the back seam open and flat, and it's going to look a little bit like this when we're done. So I've now got 2 squares made of half square triangles. I'm going to put the 2 pieces together right side up. Do not make the mistake of having them right sides together. You must have them all right side up or all wrong side up. It matters not. I'm going to cut this square in half. And again, it matters not the size of the square. You cut it in half the once. I have now got a 5.5 inch square. So I'm actually going to cut the piece into 2 lots of 2 3/4, 2 3/4 being half of 5.5. So 2 3/4 along here. There we go. And cut. When you've done that, you have various ways of arranging the design. I could put my next block together by simply taking those 2 pieces and putting it like that. I could take these 2 pieces and join them together so they were like that. I could take these 2 pieces and join them like, there's another way of doing it, like that. Or ditto, I could do the same thing with the other ones, get them round the right way and do it like that, which I've got something called Delectable Mountains, very similar. But I'm actually going to take one of these and his friend and put them together so they are as that design, and I'll show you why in a moment. This gets stitched together there, and you do that 4 times. So you need to make up 2 squares, cut them in half, do this 4 times. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now they will fit together to make a square or not. And this is where you're going to have to do some trimming. I intend to do this into a pinwheel. So I'm pinwheeling round with the darker colour, doing the pinwheel. Had I chosen to put these pieces the other way round, say with this one being there and his friend doing the other one, let's get it round the right way, doing that, I would have been able to pinwheel it round with that particular fabric in the middle here. you have a chance to play, and I'd play with the pieces before I stitch them together. But the problem is, look, they're not square. What should I do? Well, as Karen Hellaby says, you want to cut them back to being a square. So this actually measures 5 inches, so I'm going to cut it back to being a square. The bit you cut off is to cut off the section of the pinwheeled bit, the major lump, this piece. That's the bit I cut off. You don't want to cut the other end off.
I was just about to ask that. How do I know which end to cut?
Because you'll cut all your points off.
Yeah.
So we want the unpointy end. So lay this on here and cut that off. Up there. Repeat with all the others. This is great because if you've made a slight what's it up and your seams aren't quite correct, you are now trimming them beautifully square. So remember, we are trimming off the non-pointy bit. There we go, and one last one. And then all I've got to do is sew it together. So if I now lay them out, you will find that they fit an absolute treat. And I've got my pinwheel. And then all I now need to do is obviously to sew it together, and I sew them together. 2 together, 2 together, straight across the middle. Again, keeping the seams open and flat. And I could have played with it because I could actually have put it like this and got something,
yes, I see,
very different out of it.
Ooh.
So you've got a block. Now if you put the blocks together, you'd end up with the table runner I have behind me. And this came out of 2 fat quarters, and I still had a bit of fabric left.
Wow.
So you could take your fat quarters, take 2 of them, make up 3 blocks. So suppose you had 6 fat quarters, you're going to have 9 blocks, and that will be in various different colours because you can mix and match, and you're going to end up with a nice sized lap quilt, a small quilt to go on top of a single bed, and of course obviously if you bought ½ meters of the fabrics, you can make the design considerably bigger. So it's half square triangles chopped in half. Remember to keep the half square triangles matching the colours and all the same way up.
Gotcha.
When you've chopped them in half, rearrange them in your chosen way, and I'd play with the pieces, sew them together, and then remember you're going to cut a lump off their bottoms, and you cut a lump off the non-spiky side, not the points. You cut the other end, you've got a problem. So there you go.
I love it. And Jenny was using the 9 fat quarter choices. We've got them in the red, the blue and the green. Now again, you may see some crossover with the ½ meters and with our lovely one day special. However, you're going to see some that you haven't seen before as well. For instance, we haven't got a lot of the greens elsewhere, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take you through the blues first of all. So I recognise this one. This is the Blackthorn that's sold out in my ½ meter. Oh, I should have mentioned, sorry, I've had a couple of sellouts in my ½ meters as well. Shall I come back to that? Yeah, I'll do it now then. So this sold out, the one that Jenny made the lovely cushion out of. That, the Granada charcoal has gone, epileptic throw. And the Strawberry Thief, which I kept calling Strawberry Fields, I must have Beatles on the mind, that has now sold out as well. In the ½ meter. So let's go back to our fat quarters. This is the blue choice. So I know this one, for instance, sold out in my ½ meter. Jewel rich, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. Then we had, I've just done this. This is my last but one. I know we've got this in the ½ meter. This was a lovely mixer. Forgotten already. There we go. Beautiful. It was the name of a little flower. Rosehip, was it? Rosehip indigo. Then we have got the Brer Rabbit. Now this is getting limited in the ½ meters, so just to bear that in mind. Now this you haven't seen in the dark blue. We had this in a different colour. That's yeah. So we haven't seen this with the dark navy. This is beautiful. I don't know if you can see the birdie there. Isn't that gorgeous? That is stunning. Absolutely beautiful. We've seen this in the lovely teal. We've got this in the ½ meters as well, but this is in your fat quarters. Jasmine, yes. Jasmine. We've got our seaweed blue, fabulous mixer. And then we've seen this in our ½ meters as well. That's that lovely linen fresh. I just thought that was gorgeous. Is that a marigold? No, it's not a marigold one. Pure sunflower. Yeah, in the mint. And then, now we're, yes, snake. Snake head in that lovely teal. The aqua, sorry, and last but not least the blues. Is this marigold one? Honeysuckle. I've got marigold on the brain, haven't I?
Yes, that's the one that's
honeysuckle.
in the cushion on the top
That's
there.
your cushion.
So really, really nice.
Beautiful. I
design
love that cushion.
And then the other cushion was made from the one with the birds and things.
Yes.
It just has to be.
Oh, they're, I mean, look at them. They're beautiful.
Yes.
Could somebody cause a distraction while I steal them from Jenny, please? Let's move on to the reds. I think I'll be found out on that one. They are gorgeous. So they are in your blues. Let's move on to our reds. Again, you'll get 9 of these gorgeous fat quarters.
Oak apple, was that?
I think we saw something similar, but in a different colour. Maybe I'm dreaming it, but it is gorgeous. I'll get a name for you. Looks like a little sort of, reminds me of the acorn, but it's not an acorn, obviously.
Yes. It is an oak apple there, with the oak leaf there, and then the intricacy of the designs around it.
Red apple granada. You mentioned apple, didn't you?
Yes.
We think it's red apple. We're going to go with red apple granada. Then we've got the snake's head in the red. I'm starting to recognise them now. Then we've seen this in a different colourway, but not in this beautiful. What colour would you describe that as, Jenny?
It's a sort of dusky pink.
Yeah,
it's
deeper
pink.
dusky pink.
It's an orange pink as opposed to being a blue pink.
Coral.
Coral.
Coral. That's again. There's our little rose hip with it on the cream. This is the one you were just working with.
That's right.
Oh, that's beautiful, isn't it?
Really nice fabric there, and it goes so well with so many of the other materials we've got there.
Back to our strawberry. Sold out the half metre, still got it in our 9 red. This was our little honeycomb, and finally got to me marigolds.
And again, those fabrics in your red bundle I've used in this particular design we have here.
Oh, I've still got 2. There we go. Oh yes, your lovely quilt there.
So there again, I've mixed and matched, and we've got the coral one around the outside, we've got the strawberry ones in the middle, and
marigolds.
Marigolds, really, really nice.
That's
very
beautiful.
simple design. Feature fabric in the centre. You could use any feature fabric you like, and 2-inch cut strips around, just to going round it using the partial seaming method, which I've done before, but I'll do again later on. If not now, I'll do it tonight. But nice design, and I like the way the light comes up with that geometric effect.
I love that. And there's one more in the red, 20%'s gone. This is a doozy, because this sold out in the charcoal. Look at this. That is a beautiful
really
piece
nice,
of
that
material,
one.
isn't it?
Like that very much.
That
I've
is
got it in front of me
gorgeous.
now.
It's the one that just went in the half metres in the charcoal. Can't remember, something charcoal it was. Let's move on to our greens. Now this you've used in your bag, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Yep.
Yes, you've paired this up with your reds. That's the jasmine blush. We've got the different colourway in our first one that we had in the teal and the navy. That is beautiful. Your favourite,
Yes.
Jenny,
Which I
your
like
lovely
very much.
bramble charcoal, not womble charcoal, bramble charcoal. Then I think we've got the apple again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so pretty, isn't it? These greens are gorgeous. Look at this for a bit of zesty green.
I thought that
Marigold in
was
the
a
green.
superb one.
Isn't that exquisite? And then this sold out in a different colour in the half metres, in the goldy sort of mauve one. Hello. Look at the is that the Wilhelmina? This is our birdie one, isn't it? Was that the Wilhelmina one? Don't know if you can see the. Oh, I don't know. It's just gorgeous. Look at the birdies.
But you've got 9 very different fabrics there.
Yeah.
Which again, you've got ones that you can group together. So, you know, if having the 20 sort of perhaps daunts you, go for 9. At least you've got sort of the greeny colours or the bluey colours or the reddy colours.
And last but not least, you were talking about my lovely producer, the lemon tree.
And she loves that.
She does love that.
Yes.
It's lovely and fresh.
And that's the kitchen, that's the bright sun, the sun's coming in, the day is fresh. Here we are, it's lemons.
Oh, she's got the wallpaper in her kitchen. She needs the blind to go with it now. Need to get onto that, Kim. $35.99. Proving you can split that, don't forget, into 2 flexible payments over November and December. That one payment, that'd be $17.99 today. You get all 9 fat quarters on the 26th of November. So you can start work with them straight away and then pay the second payment in December, 686118. Back to you, Jenny.
Right,
what
we've still got plenty of times for Christmas. Well, for
yes,
Kim,
that's true.
For Kim did see this little bag, and she
beautiful.
wanted to know how this little bag was made.
This is cute as.
So it's a little bag with 3 pockets. Got one pocket on the front here, one pocket in the middle, and one pocket on the back.
That's just the best.
It comes, it's a way of folding. It comes from Stitch Bits, which is a book that I wrote, but you don't need to have that because you can see it here. So if I was going to do the bag that size, I took one of the fat quarters and I turned it into a square. To turn the fat quarter into a square, it is seriously complicated. Open out the fat quarter and simply fold one corner over and then chop off the excess material. And there is a square. All right, so it's as simple as that. You need two pieces, preferably the same size. If I was going to make a bag the size that I've got, and this bag is round about 8 inches square. This came from an 18-inch fat quarter. One of the pieces of fabric you need to put onto wadding, batting, call it what you will. It could be quilted with just a few lines going across, it could be quilted with straight lines, or you could do, as I did, just free motion, very vaguely, randomly over it. Now, when you are doing any stitching on wadding and fabric only, you can use the regular presser foot on your machine. You do not have to put anything fancy on.
So you're just good to quilt them, to fuse them together?
Yes.
Right.
You could just use your regular presser foot. So you don't have to worry about your free motion foot or your walking foot. 2 layers are absolutely fine with the regular presser foot. It's when you have 3 layers that you've got to use your walking foot or your free motion foot, because if you don't, one of the layers will creep. But wadding and top fabric, not a problem. You can just work with your regular presser foot.
So this is using the reds.
Yes.
Just let everybody know, out of the 9
Thank you very much
fat
indeed.
quarter bundle.
So there is my square of fabric onto its wadding. I've cut the other square, which will go as the backing fabric. Alrighty, but this little bag is actually reversible.
Oh no,
Now,
it gets even better. Really?
Yes, it depends which side you want. You will need 2 tabs. Now you could either make a tab out of the excess bit of fabric you cut off from down the edge there, or you could do something what I've done here, which is to take a length of embroidery thread. This is in a wonderful tangle. It doesn't matter because I'm only going to use a bit of it. But if you take several either embroidery threads or maybe even a piece of string, and you literally set your machine to zigzag, and you zigzag over it, you will wrap the thread. I don't know how close the camera can get to this.
Okay.
And makes a really good, very strong little tab.
Oh.
So if you're going to do the bag, you want 2 tabs. One's got to go in this corner, here, and
Yep.
one's got to go catty-cornered in the opposite corner there. And the tabs need to go inwards, okay? For some reason, people have some strange idea of putting the tab on so that it goes like that. And then they have a slightly strange surprise when they turn it through, because they have 2 little ends sticking out and no tab. So remember, the tabs go inwards. And they want to go diagonally on the corner. So tab in that corner, tab in the other corner.
Okay.
I would put the tabs on and then give it a couple of stitches just to hold the tabs in place. Let me put that back together again, because that's for real for another time. So I have made up a small version this size, okay, and I've just stuck a bit of loose fabric on the end here. So here is my finished design. I put the 2 pieces right sides together, I sewed all the way around, left a hole to turn it through, pressed it, and I've top stitched all the way around, catching in my top stitching the raw edges of the hole. Now the design works in the rule of 3. So it matters not how big your square is. You need to divide one side into 3. So literally just concertina it. So just jiggle it a bit till you've got it into 3. Okay, so you only need to do this with one side because of course you're working with a square. It's not quite accurate. Just jiggle it fractionally further. There we go. And all I would do with my pins is mark the fold. So stick your pin into the fold, one there and one there. Once you've marked one side, you can use it as a template for all the other sides. So there's my side marked. Bring this one over, use it as a template. I will make you all laugh. I put my tabs in between the 2 layers, opened it up and realised I got 2 tabs, one tab there and one tab there, not one catty-cornered.
Opposite sides.
So that's why I've had to put that in.
Okay.
But this is a demo sample. This is purely for you, Kim, so I hope you're watching. Well, I know you're watching.
We're all paying close attention.
Yes,
Probably
sure.
got about 8 minutes.
That's
just
all right.
so you know.
It's not going to take any longer than about another 2 or 3 at the most. So fold it over there. So we're doing the rule of 3, okay?
Yeah.
Because you don't actually have to have this bag, you can get other things out of this same square. Having got the rule of 3, if we turn it long ways, I'm going to fold the fabric over on those pins. And fold the other one over on the other side, and amazingly the pins, the second lot of pins, will line up. There you go. Just about, get them in the right, jiggle it a bit. That's it. Okay, so those are there, and these pins vaguely line up. You will find it works a treat if you use an accurate
So they're lining
square.
up with the material.
Line up with the
diagonal,
pins.
yeah.
I might have been quite right, that'll do. You then need to stitch this flap to the underneath bit, and it is perfectly possible to do it on the machine. You can do it on the machine by taking off the, revealing the free arm, and you need to sew one side. You can sew from one side from there to there, and then you do one side from there to there. If you prefer, you can do it by hand. So join that to itself, not through to the back. Take all the pins out.
Yes, so not all the way through, just make sure you just
join it to itself, otherwise you will have a very funny surprise. And then all I do is fold it in half. When you fold it in half, you join down the two sides, and there is my little bag.
Ah, your purse for your little bag.
There's one side there, and one side there, and there's the other one that goes in the middle.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's a square, but of course you don't have to have that, because you could have all sorts of other things with it. You could have a pochette. The pochette only requires one tab, so let's forget about one tab. Let's pin it out of the way. And the pochette works on the rule of 2. You need to find the midpoint of one of the sides. Let's just fold it in half, find the midpoint, stick a pin in. Ditto on the other sides. Just use it as a template, do that. Okay. Right, I'm going to fold my little bag in half, and I'm going to stitch a perpendicular down from those pins, straight down there. Let's put a pin in. I think the wonderful thing about playing with texture, and this is what are in my books and various things, is you have the chance to play, and you know, you might come up with something very different. You stitch down there, so we stitch down there, straight. This bit will then fold back, and you can catch it on the bottom. This bit then folds back, and I put a little stitch in to hold it down the bottom. That folds over and gets caught down. And this will come over, and put a button on it, and you've got another little bag, which is actually works very well in velvet. So with just one simple square, you can fold it in a variety of different ways.
That's so good. That could have been a lovely glasses case, my producer said.
It could indeed be absolutely anything. Or you can have the nappy bag, which is where you would fold one side over,
nappy bag
other side over there, one tab only, fold this bit up, stitch that bit to this bit, fold it over, put your button on the front, there's another bag.
Gorgeous. So many variations.
Yes, and just comes from a square. So you think if you had 2 fat quarters, turn one into a square, mount one onto fluff, wadding, something of that nature, add a tab, 2 tabs for the little bag that Kim liked, 1 tab for the others, and then you just play. And you could come up with other things, I can assure you.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. All from just 2 fat quarters. And then we can make mini ones as well for little purses and glasses and nappy bags. And absolutely lovely. Don't forget loads of Jennie's books on the website as well. So please have a look at those because she's got amazing designs in there. We're back to my one day special. It's the last few minutes of the show. Over 20% of the stock has gone. And that is 20 beautiful William Morris fat quarters. Some of which you will see repeats in the 9 fat quarters or indeed the half meters, some of which you won't. You'll recognise some and some which have now sold out of the half meters as well. So really do have a little look online and see what's your favourite. Or I think this is just such a cracking collection in terms of giving you a real breadth of the beautiful William Morris & Co material there in so many different colourways. Absolutely stunning. 2 flexi buy payments of £35 and a £10 saving, 391277. Now lots of my pick and mix in the half meters have gone. If you are choosing 2 the same half meter, please don't delay. They will come as half meters. We've had several sellouts already. So a few, for instance, Blackthorn Indigo has now gone. Oh my gosh, look at that. Pure Bachelor's Button has gone. Wilhelmina Linen. Well, she did have lovely linen, didn't she, Jennie?
She did have lovely linen, yeah.
Oh my gosh, so much of the half meters has gone, Jennie. So I think Bramble charcoal is now limited. That was one of Jenny's favourites as well. So yeah, if there are some there that you like, please look at the fat quarters, both in the 9 machination and in the 1-day special, because you might, for instance, the Loddon Dusk is in our 1-day special, I know, and so is the Snakehead Aqua. So if you missed out on the half meters, have a look at the fat quarters. Let's have a little look at the pick and mix, yes, and our lovely Jenny sample. What are we going to be doing?
Right, what I'm going to do next at 8 o'clock, I've done a strip of fabrics which I've chopped into squares, and I'm going to show you something else you can do with it that's not necessarily rail fence. So I've got the red here, and this was the red seaweedy one. This is the strawberry, and this is
the coral.
The coral.
Honeycomb, sorry. Yeah.
Honeycomb. Is it?
Honeycomb.
Honeycomb. So I've stitched those together. You'll have to wait till 8 o'clock to see what I'm going to do with those.
Beautiful.
Watch
yes.
this space.
They were in, I think, in our lovely 1-day special there. Gorgeous. So finishing with our half meters. A lot of these, like I said, have gone now. That's my lovely Jasmine Aqua. Our lovely, was it our lovely Rose Hip? Yeah. Marigold Tan, Honeysuckle and Tulip. That was the Willow, yes, the Willow Linen. That was our Acorn. We love the Acorn. That was proving very popular as well. Bachelor's Button. That one was very unusual. Not seen that in any other colours. The Theodisia. I'll have to look that one up. That was lovely. Sunflower. The Seaweed in the blue. The Marigold there. And that lovely blush red. That was a very pretty one as well. Trellis linen. Poppies. Bramble charcoal. Brer rabbit. Limited stock on the Brer rabbit. Snakehead in the teal. Lovely jasmine. Poppy. Snakehead in the red, yeah. Remember, once it's gone, it has gone. And that mauve was very popular, finishing with our lovely honeycomb. Yes, enjoy 8 o'clock with our Jenny.